Well, I was curious how they were going to bring all the girls together in Selection Project in order to, I guess, get the chemistry flowing between the characters, because it's basically a series that is an idol show that's about each individual member that is competing together. So why would you bring them together other than maybe do group projects? But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 2 of Selection Project, so let's jump into it. So yeah, as easily predicted, we essentially have this episode really focus on Sierra essentially giving her position up to Suzune, which again was technically predicted. It seemed pretty obvious that was going to be the case because Suzune is technically on the cover of the art, so it kind of makes sense that she's going to be a part of this. But it was really cute how they end up playing through this whole scenario because it has Sierra basically come to see Suzune, really not really getting Suzune off her mind. The fact that Suzune did such an incredible job that she feels like she won the Selection Project. So they have a little nice time together. They go out on a little date and they, go to some places. And eventually Sierra leaves. And at some point, Suzune gets a message saying, here's a new video from Selection Project. Sierra has dropped out. She's going to pursue some stuff in California. And pretty much through their conversations later on, Sarah's like, look, you won. You won that spot. If you hadn't fell, you would have won hands down. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to make myself better so that we can both achieve our goals. She ends up putting like a whole bunch of pressure on Suzune too, because she's like, hey, I'm dropping out. You take this position, but I want you to win. It's like, wow, crap. Not only do I have to go in there with the pressure that, normally I would want to win, but now I have the fact that I have you on my shoulder. It is technically an aspect of rivalries where you technically have, if somebody beats somebody, they're now basically taking their legacy with them. So if the one that wins goes on and loses, they now look like they're worse than that. So it's like a lot of pressure to put on her. I mean, they've already established this idea that apparently she reveals in this episode that she was born with a weak heart. And yes, going into a competition obviously gets her heart racing and causes her some issues. And so now she not only has that when she goes into competitions going forward, she now has the weight of Sierra on her as she goes forward. So yeah, a little bit rough. It's going to be rough for Suzune going forward. But it was cute because one of these moments where Sierra was establishing that she was going to give this up to Suzune, Suzune had called her after listening to some music done by Akari, and she really couldn't really get the words out, and Sierra starts singing the song of Akari. And this kind of pushes Suzune to admit, I want to sing. I don't want this to be the end. Because that was the big question mark Sierra had for her was like, are you stopping now? You shouldn't stop. You have an incredible voice. I did find it funny though, because it seemed like at multiple points in this episode, they kept like emphasizing the fact that all these girls seem to have full screen flip phones. Like this is like some kind of Samsung thing. They're trying to push people to acknowledge that, full screen flip phones now exist. I know Japan, at least through anime culture, really loves their flip phones. They didn't give up the razors for quite a while, but now we have smartphone flip phones, so now they're, I guess, trying to push that as a thing. But now we also had in this episode a full reveal of how this whole system is going to work, or at least some of it anyways. They've revealed basically now that this whole district-based Selection Project is done, they're bringing them all together to one location, which is a repurposed school that was turned into a studio / stadium / living quarters, all this kind of stuff in one location. And they put a lot of focus on a single beachside home where all the girls are going to be living at. And they're really pushing heavy on the idea this is a reality TV show. So this is going to be something that, I don't know, Big Brother type thing where they're all coming to one place. It's a reality TV show. Everybody can watch these girls in there, have their drama and stuff. And then at some point they maybe start eliminating certain girls. I don't know. It seems like it's really kind of painting it as like an American reality TV show that they're going to be going into. So yeah, Big Brother Selection Project edition or Big Brother Idols edition. We'll see. I'm curious just to how much that's going to play into it. Like how much is it going to be like, suddenly they have a dispute and then boom, it's on cameras and it's being streamed to everybody. I did also find it weird that they had all the girls essentially take their own ways to get to there. I mean, typically with a big production TV thing like this, they would fly them over. But now we had some taking buses, some taking trains, some taking, nice cars and stuff. It was a little weird, but it was cute because we technically did have a brief moment which each of the girls, we had introductions in the first episode but there was just kind of personality introductions. With this episode, it's more introductions into their families and where they're coming from. So obviously having somebody like Nadaka is from this family of farmers, and the mother's trying to give her a bunch of potatoes. Uta, again, seems to be with a mother that's very much in the industry of entertainment and very pushy to her. Awa, like I said, was the more workout type. But yeah, very, very brief, cute little introductions. And obviously at the very, very end of the episode, we get the confirmation that I called it, that Rena was going to be the long, black-haired, snotty kid that's just overly serious about things. And so she has to make some stupid remark about, man, I would be too embarrassed to be here if somebody dropped out for me. And yeah, I like that Suzume kind of just came back with the, girls be ambitious. It's like a middle finger or something. Girls be ambitious. It sucks because I think this is why I don't like long, black-haired girls in anime, is because it just seems like every competitive show like this has to have the snotty, over-serious, long, black-haired girl. So, I don't know, maybe I need to make my top 10 most hated long, black-haired girl characters a video or something. So yeah, I think the next episode is going to be pretty awesome. It's going to really give us an idea of how everybody kind of fits in the pecking order, I guess. How each character sees each other. Really kind of bring out the personality and really show us what kind of chemistry we're looking at going forward. Obviously, we've seen, again, the personalities of each characters in their own separate districts, but now to see them come together and see how they treat each other is definitely going to be a really telling sign. Now, granted, again, I think it's going to be a lot of, here's Nadaga over here, and she's talking about eating a bunch, and everybody's talking about how she's going to get chubby. Over here, Rena's going to be upset because nobody's taking everything seriously. I really hope that it doesn't rely too heavily on those archetypes, because it's obviously something that a lot of more, casual viewers of idol shows will be off-put by. So it's always nice when the characters themselves ascend higher than their archetypes. And I think that's, like I said, the next episode is going to be very telling of that. But either way, that's my thoughts on episode 2 of Selection Project. Again, still continuing to look really great. I'm looking forward to more, see how this lays out. Again, the whole reality TV show thing, how that's going to play out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Subscribe if you haven't already, share this video if you can. Support us on Patreon if you can. We definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.